Forgot my name. Hi, my name's James Anderson, Orange Bikes athlete. I'm here to tell my story. As a kid, I was diagnosed with monoplegia, in addition also dyspraxia and dyslexia. This occurred when I was being born. I was starved of oxygen to one side of my brain and led me to develop my condition, monoplegia. It's an acute form of cerebral palsy, that meaning that one side of your body, mine being my right hand side, was underdeveloped from birth. So as I got older, you could see the big difference in the muscle growth from my left to my right hand side. Yeah, so part of my condition is dyspraxia. That's quite the gnarly element of it. Dyspraxia basically complicates movements, so I struggle with coordinated movements, largely from transferring my weight from my left hand side to my right hand side. Obviously when I was really young and the muscle wastage in my right leg was quite high, transferring my body weight from my left to my right was so hard that I couldn't actually balance on one leg. When I was young, I was about 5 years old, and Dad was really into road cycling at the time and did local time trials, and I used to watch him go off riding and training, and it just gave me that motivation to go and try and follow him. And he would take me out just around the local lanes and stuff, just on the road initially, and I'll never forget him like riding off up some really big hills, and I was like, wow, like how does he do that? And I was still figuring out how this affected me, and I was still on stabilizers until I was 8 years old. But yeah, it gave me something that I could work at, as in cycling could help me work on this condition, and it's something that I'll never forget the feeling when I first went out, and it gave me that instant like, okay, this sport can help me work on this. So yeah, I just would go out with Dad and try and keep up, and you know, eventually it grew and grew, and I found mountain biking at the age of 11 years old. So yeah, really grateful that I found the sport so young, and I owe everything to this sport, of what it's made of me as an athlete and a racer that I now am today. So the reason I'm now started talking about my story is my girlfriend Laurie. We had a conversation late in 2021, and I'd also hidden this from her, and she couldn't believe that I was hiding this part of myself, and how my story can help people. That also coincided with Orange bringing out the AD3, which is an adaptive bike to help people with disabilities. Now, my disability might not be very visible, but it spoke to me, that project, because Orange are making great strides to make cycling and mountain biking more accessible for all walks of life. And it was really a really cool time, because it was the end of the season, and I'd started to reflect more on what my girlfriend was telling me, and you know, how it could help people, because I was still believing that it wasn't a big deal. This doesn't really matter so much. But you know, going through it with her, and then obviously talking to the guys at Orange, I realised that, you know, it is quite a big deal, and the story can help a lot of people and do a lot of good in general. So I started talking about it, and yeah, like I said, the inspiration from what Alex has done with the AD3 really helped bring that out of me, and started talking about my hidden disability. Actually, I need to get rid of that. We're here at Complete Performance today, a purpose-built facility that I started training at the start of the year. We're here to see my coach, Neil Waterman, that I started training with. He's done an amazing job of addressing the problems that I have on my weaker right-hand side. A lot of single leg work, a lot of dynamic stuff, some reaction training, and really working on my dyspraxia as well. Let's go and check out what he's up to and how we get on. Sweet, let's do it. There he is.
James.
Always planning. Let's go.
How are you, dude?
Boss man.
You good?
Yeah, good. Ready
well
for
done,
it.
mate. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready to get some work done today?
Yeah.
Awesome stuff, mate. Perfect. Hi there, I'm Neil Waterman from Complete Performance, based here in North Wales. We work with James Anderson, looking after him for his bike conditioning, so mainly focusing on strength, power and endurance, but then also working around James's condition, so doing a lot of single leg balance work, coordinated work, to help try and create that balance and strength into the right leg. When we first started working with James up here, we got him onto the Watt bike, used the benefit of the power meters on the Watt bike to establish what the differences were between the right and left leg. We quickly established that the left leg was putting out about 46% over the right leg, so we specifically then focused on his training, increasing reps or sometimes just working the right leg on its own to bring that balance back, and we've managed to create literally a 50-50 balance now on his latest tests on the bike. We've done that mainly on a lot of banded work on the leg. It creates an instability, so the leg has to work in a slightly different way to keep tracking and stabilize, and then generic kind of strength exercises implemented in his training so that that right leg catches up with the left leg. So today with James, we will be doing some exercises mainly to focus on his right leg. So we'll do a little bit of a balance exercise to start with, a little bit of a fun additional warm-up, and then some banded stabilization work and a little bit of strength work for him.
So my name's Michelle Bowen. I'm the sports therapist here at Complete Performance. So I work with a lot of the athletes that come in and train with Neil. So James came to us probably about 6 to 8 months ago, I think. Started working with Neil from a strength and conditioning point of view, and then obviously they brought me in because of the condition, the monoplegia, really just to kind of focus on some soft tissue stuff that we can do to kind of improve the mobility through the ankles, the knees, the hips, and therefore that kind of works hand in hand with what Neil does from a strength point of view in the gym. Gets much more mobility, much more stability, and therefore much better sort of results from the training. We do a lot of deep tissue work and what we call MET, which is muscle energy techniques, and then that's particularly good for increasing the range of motion that an athlete can have from a joint to muscle perspective. So it's not an intense stretch that you put on. They contract the muscle, relax, you put the stretch on, contract the muscle, relax, you put the stretch on. So it's a much better way of getting a result, lengthening the muscles, and like I say, increasing the joint mobility. With James in particular, the mobility that he has in the ankle is quite restrictive, so we do a lot of deep tissue frictions, a lot of connective tissue work on there just to try and free the ankle up. So again, then when he goes into the gym and he's doing his squats or his single leg balances, or when he's on the bike, he's got much better rotation and movement through the ankle joint itself. But his tissue is much tighter, and his muscles on one side always feel much shorter than on the other side. So when I work the tissue in the one leg, it's very much normal tissue, and you just like massage it out, but when you're working on the one particular side, it's very much that you have to work much deeper into the tissue. You have to do a lot of fascia release onto it. So yeah, you are kind of, it's almost like you have two clients. And then the other thing with James is he comes in with lots of injuries from crashes. So we have to fix those at the same time.
So yeah, fast forward to now and looking ahead to the future. I'm really excited for the next couple of years, if I'm honest. Now I've come to terms with my condition and fully embraced it and got a strategy working with my coach. I'm addressing the problems that I'm still facing, that being the limited range of motion I have in my ankle on my right hand side, working on my flexibility through my hips and my lower body, because I'm noticing as I'm getting older there is a lot of rehab work that is needed after every race because of the stress being put on my body. So I'm really looking forward to keep working hard on that and making myself a more rounded athlete and keep pushing ahead. I've obviously raced a couple of World Cups now and I still want to keep pushing ahead with racing on the World Cup circuit. It's a dream of mine that I've had since I was young, and I'm sitting here right now and talking about it makes me realise how far I've come, and I'm really proud of that. And I'm still far from done. I'm 28 years old now, and I really want to push on now and fully go for it. I've been open with Orange, I've been open with all my sponsors, and I think when you're open and honest, only good stuff can come from there. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of years.